Hey guys, welcome to our next video.
And if you're new here, we have been building a garden shed. It's two-story, around 140 square feet, and in a Japanese tea house style.
Right, so I know the name of the channel is Building Modern. We are building it, maybe not so modern, but there are some modern elements now that we're getting to it. And we're doing it all ourselves or DIY. So, up today is Cedar Cedar skirt.
Yeah, we just finished the soffit, and we're going to say that a lot, cedar soffit, cedar skirt, but we have kind of a decorative area around the bottom of the building. We're calling it a skirt.
And this is something that you do see in a lot of the Japanese buildings if you start looking at their design and aesthetic. A lot of the buildings there do have the bottom 3 feet of cedar. I'm assuming that's for just because cedar's more durable to the weather and splashback. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a real reason. If you do know the real reason, please do let us know, because we would love to know that as well. So we're going with cedar on the bottom. It's a whole lot of prep work. So we are using cedar pickets. So these are like fence pickets that are 6 foot fence pickets with dog ears at the top that you would get from Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yep, and so we're processing them first before we use them. So we are planing them down to get the rough texture off both sides, and then we are not, well, it's not like a tongue and groove. It's something else. It's like more like a shiplap.
Right. It's kind of like a shiplap, just so they overlap each other a little bit. Not as we don't want the reveal. It's just so that if there's expansion and contraction, same for the soffit, that you don't really see through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you probably already saw that in the soffit video, if you saw the soffit video.
Yeah. If not, go watch it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's what we're doing. It's a lot of prep work, but I think the install should go pretty quickly once we get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still a lot to do, so we better get going.
All right.
I'm excited that we're getting close. I'm excited that we finished the soffit, and now we're on to the skirt of the building. That's fun. So what are we up to now?
Hey, so I just ripped down all these pieces of cedar into thirds. And so we're going to use them like furring strips. I know we could go get cheap furring strips at Home Depot or Lowe's, but honestly, this is probably pretty cheap as it is, cut into thirds. We're just going to be okay with it. It's what we have. So I've set up a laser level here, and this laser level is set to be about the middle of where these vertical cedar boards will be going. And I'll put this down the middle of that, so we have something to nail into. So here, I'll just go over here. All I have to do is put it up, make sure it's the right amount over. I already have that to get it roughly level. I don't have to be too accurate, so I can just nail it in. Okay, so now we're on to the next section. So now we're going to use boards. We have a lot of scraps, so we're going to try to use as much scraps as we can, just so it's not wasted material. So we'll be doing that. Ideally, we need a solid piece on the top, so that if water comes down, it doesn't get trapped in there. We want it to just be solid. Over all of these, we're going to put a drip cap at the end. That's going to be a cedar drip cap. So we don't really have to worry too much, because the water will hit the drip cap and then continue on.
Hey, so not only is it economical by using all those scrap pieces, my little fish scales back there, there are little gaps between each one. So if water does get back there, hopefully it's got lots of avenues to escape through the bottom. The middle furring strip is just solid, so that theory doesn't work there. But hey, it kind of works for the bottom, so that's something. So we're about to cut all of these cedar fence pickets for our cedar skirt on the building over there. And the idea was to use everything that we have with as minimal waste as possible. So the dog ears, we're going to keep those and they'll just be hidden behind a board. So these boards are 6 feet roughly, but they're really more like 6 feet and a quarter. So what I'm making sure to do is I'm hooking off of the flat edge. I'm going to mark at 36 inches, cut it at the table saw, and that will take a blade's width off and then measure again and get the 36 inches off there and off of the dog ear end of it.
Okay, can we trade? I'll tell you what I want to do.
Okay, sure. What do you want to do? Okay, what's your way?
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to create a stop, a jig, or rather than trying to rely on measurements. Because every time you do a measurement, there's a chance you mark the wrong spot. So what I want to do is over here. What I would like to do is measure exactly 36 inches out and create a stop. It could be here. This could be a really good place to clamp it on. So I'd like to create a stop. So
I like this idea. We do not have a miter saw station. We just have this mobile guy.
we don't, and all my scrap boards are now missing.
And we use them on the shed.
Okay, so we used all the scrap boards. That scrap board would have been good here.
There's some more over there. We can go get some.
So, all right. So here, this is the idea.
It was pretty janky. I like the idea.
Hey,
Don't know about the execution of this
If it-
idea.
it works, okay?
Like a round surface right here.
Well, this is flat here.
Okay.
So what we need to do is find out where 36 inches is here. What I'm going to do is put down this blade here. There. That's just locking the blade down. And then I'm going to go 36 inches out here. Because that's what you wanted was exactly 36, right?
Yep.
So if I go exactly 36. Yeah, that's spot on 36. And now I tighten down this one right here, which totally moving as I tighten it down. All right. So that's 36 inches there. So it should hit this guy that moves. It should hit this. That should be 36 inches exactly. Let me use a scrap board though and make sure it's right because I don't want to use our real wood and be wrong.
Okay.
Because, I'd rather, here, this is scrap. This is more than 36 inches and this is scrap. This is,
It's out of the way.
if you aren't used to it, this is what comes with pallets. If you're not used to this kind of piece of wood.
Yeah.
It's usually what comes with pallets. I don't know what it is. I'm guessing it looks like pine.
Yeah, I don't even think it's pressure treated. Keep it.
Sometimes you can get pallets that come like with cedar or, sometimes it's like oak or teak. And it can be sorts of crazy things. All right. So what I'm going to do here, I put it on here. I have it hit my stop. And then
Got it. All right.
okay, hey. So I was able to finagle that a little bit. So now it should be spot on 36 inches. So I'm going to give this a cut and see if it works. So what I'm doing, I'm pushing it up against the jig or the stop. And then I'm just going to cut it. See if that is 36 inches. 36 inches spot on. That's good. So now I have to do that just on all the other boards. What you doing?
I'm painting the ends you just cut. Well, oiling the ends that you just cut for our 36-inch long skirt boards. This is so much more efficient stacking them and oiling the ends this way than trying to do them individually. You get a little overage on the top and bottom, but that's okay.
We also have Watco oil as well we were using before, and it looks the exact same. So
I ran out of the Watco oil from Home Depot and then on one board, and I started with the bottle that we got from Amazon. They looked exactly the same. You couldn't tell the difference. They even started and stopped on the same board.
we can link that in the description. Hey, Anna, so what are we doing?
Organization. So this is our drying rack that we had for all our boards earlier. And what I'm doing is I'm just laying out all of these boards that we've cut in half to see how they'll lay out on the building, just to get kind of a preview instead of just randomly grabbing boards, we can just actually be smart about it and lay them out and make sure that we don't have any like two boards that are like the same two. Like these two came from the same board. So these two aren't right next to each other. So there's a nice even mixture.
And you don't want like all dark and all light and
Nah.
put them together?
Nah, nice even mixture. So we'll see.
Okay.
Look at all these. So this is our corner board, which we'll have to get straight. But I grabbed this dog-eared one to make sure this is our height of our trim board, is this big fat furring strip back here. So that's a great guide for how high up we need to make sure that we don't have our dog ears go below that.
Yeah.
So, but it seems like some of these are inconsistent. Like that dog ear seems longer. Anyway, we'll make sure it works and make sure we don't have any of the dog ears fall below that line. Okay. Well, if we just had a little ledger guy, we could have just put a straight ledger and just plunk them all on the ledger, which might be a good idea to do. Just level the ledger.
Yeah, because we're going to screw into it. Great idea.
Okay.
Let's block.
Ledger block. All right, we've got our ledger. Second ledger.
Now we figured out how tall they need to be, like where they need to be on the bottom. So now we have a ledger that we're putting in at the bottom. Ledger board.
Just so we can plunk them all on top. Just so this guy's the thing that we level here. All right, so now we should just be able to just plunk them on there and it'll be straight.
Okay, so we have the ledger board down.
So we can just plunk everybody just on the ledger board, which is great.
Do you mean to go make the laser straight? You need a line?
I've got a vertical line and it's following along pretty well with it. I mean, it's not right at the edge, but I can visually spot that it's consistently a similar distance away all the way up and down.
Okay, hey.
Hey.
So we have the first piece on.
Yes.
So now it should just go pretty fast, right?
Yeah, it's just going to be plunk, 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 plunk.
All right.
That's how it's going to go.
Okay. Well, I mean, go for it. I guess I'll just record while you do it. Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and I am only nailing the top and bottom for now because we'll just see if we have to nail the middle. Hopefully it won't go out. And these will be hidden by the top and bottom boards.
Well, and I was going to say if we do the middle, we need to put the laser level on it so all the nails are exactly straight.
Yes, for sure.
Because, I mean, that's anyway, like, if you're going to make something look like it was DIY.
It's being boom, boom, boom,
It's, yeah.
Yeah, got it. All right. Let's go.
So I just came over here. It's already looking better.
You like it better than the house rat?
I like it better than the house route.
All right, so now the last board didn't necessarily have to be a flat edge anyway, because it's going to have to be a weird size.
Okay. Well, we have some scrap that I might be able to use for that. I think we just used all our scrap for the furry strips.
Let's take a look. That looks nice. What do you think?
I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It even kind of looks a little finished with those.
Honestly,
pieces
yeah,
there.
you could just leave it like that, right?
Yeah. You don't notice that very bottom part that looks like fish scales. You'll be fine.
No, that's already looking way better. We got to do that corner, though. We got to turn that corner. There we go. Got to put oil in it and install it.
Hey, what are you doing?
Oiling this piece right here. Yet again.
What piece is it?
This is the last piece. This is the corner piece on the side of the building towards the back side. And so it was a funny size, so we had to cut it down. And so any cut edge, yet again, more oiling.
All right, we're on the last piece.
All right. Good.
Hey.
Except for that and that, but those are done.
Yeah. All right, come over here. We got to look at it.
Yay.
Okay, so what do you think?
That looks nice. It's a kind of a rainbow of cedar. It was
Yeah.
more rainbowy than I thought it would be. It's a lot of like tans and browns and pinks and things like that.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it looks very much like cedar. Like it's looks just like cedar. So does it bring like the Japanese feel to it?
Maybe. I don't know yet.
I think a little bit.
More so, less modern.
I mean, look, we have Japanese maples there. I'll just do this then. It's a Japanese feel. And camellias are behind it. That's also Japanese. Okay, that looks good. Hey guys, so that's all we were able to finish today. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So that went surprisingly fast. I mean, we knew it would. It was all on the prep work. So it was all in the getting it planed. It was in putting it through the router table.
It was all prep work. Router table, plating, like oiling the whole thing, like
Right.
getting all the like trim, like the furring strips up. And then once we installed these boards, it was just like, boop,
What,
boop.
20 minutes maybe? I mean,
Yeah,
it
I
went.
really need to go look back at the clock and see how long it took. It was longer than 20 minutes. There was a couple of things in there that we stopped.
It went pretty quickly. So next up, we have to do the other two sides. But so far, so good. We are going to put one piece of trim back here. It's going to go across the top and go across the bottom. But that's about it left for this side.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.